Welcome back, everybody, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded character segment of the streak. Today is going to be a NADAB and ABIHU, I don't know how to say any of these names, run for win number 1. We did not win the last run. In fact, if you have not watched the last episode, we didn't even finish that run. We had to stop halfway through. C, by the way, is going to be SEWG SEWG MDSF because my cat was being terrible. I just got done bandaging. Those are some very unfortunate shapes for eyes on this character, I'm noticing. Those are, I will let that one slide. Okay, move, attack, explode. All right, I understand the character now. I have no idea what this guy does. If he's like a scapegoat type thing, most likely. I have no idea, but I'm sure we will figure that out along the way. I have used 6 bandages to patch up my arm and my elbow, so hopefully my cat will leave me alone. I played with her for about 30 minutes, and if she still has energy, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Regardless, though, I promised you guys that yesterday, or 2 days ago for you guys, that I will be reviewing the movie I watched on Valentine's Day, Call Me By Your Name, which is a very popular movie that I had not bothered to watch until yesterday. In fact, I had no idea what it was about. All I knew is he had intercourse with a peach, and that is my entire knowledge of that movie. And I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's good. I would say it's just good. This is actually pretty decent for us as well. I really didn't have any like lasting thoughts after I finished it. I will say, like, am I focused? I'm focused. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. The ending monologue from the dad. I'm going to try to give like as best as I can a no major spoiler review, by the way. The ending monologue from the dad was very moving. I think it really put the entire movie in perspective and made all the somewhat useless or long and drawn out previous scenes. It kind of helped contextualize that a bit as to why this was not seen as, what was going on in the movie was not seen as some like taboo crime. The main plot of the movie, I should say off the bat, is that there's this French family, and it's like a son, a mom, and a dad, wouldn't you know? And I can blow up, I forgot about that. We can actually maybe make some sort of play here. If we can get an early angel room. Chest? No chest. If we can find a way to get an early angel room, we could use diplopia and then still manage to take everything jar with us. I'm going to use it now because it drops a bomb for us. And then I can always pop that down. I don't need to diplopia that at all. It doesn't really give me much of a use. Wait, where'd my bomb go? Oh, wait, I must not get bombs. Also, my voice is gone, excuse me. A tinted rock up here. We can blow that up. I'm so dead right now. And we get a crawl space and a soul heart for our endeavors. So I must not get bombs, and I only get... I can only explode through diplopia. I guess that would make sense for the character's sort of gimmick here. But we can go and get those golden chests, blow those up, maybe even get some more. Health for the sacrifice room, and we can use diplopia here and take down whatever other item we desire with us on the next floor. Let's first go down to here, and let's do 1 for that. Not really incredible. We can do this for crackjack, so that is incredible. Judas's tongue. Nothing I really want to worry about right now. Okay. And yes. It's not really worth diplopiaing, but I will take it. We'll touch this once more for purity, which is a very, very good item to get early on here. And now we're kind of sitting pretty, I would say. We have a very nice, strong beginning run on our hands. Why don't we go to the downpour for the first time in like several years? But the plot of the movie, circling back around here, is there's a French family, and the dad of the family is an archaeologist, and he has a work friend from America coming to stay with the family. The son, for reference, is I think 17 in the movie, and the work friend is like in his, it's like mid-30s, early to middle 30s. And the son kind of has a little bit of a gay awakening. He goes, damn, I'm crushing on my dad's work friend. And it turns out the work friend is also kind of crushing on him, which is a little bit obviously like problematic, but it's kind of the moral dilemma of the movie is like, is this okay? And you watch the movie, and the entire time they do all these pretty weird stuff you wouldn't expect a late 30s to want to do with a 17-year-old, and you spend the movie kind of thinking, this is like pretty weird and messed up, and very manipulative. But then by the end of the movie, it's still wrong and messed up and terrible, but it almost becomes rationalized. Because the movie takes place in the 80s, and they really try to hit it home by the end that, like, you just weren't allowed to be gay in the 80s. I mean, you still, like, it's very hard to be gay nowadays, too, but it was really unfortunate if you were gay in the 80s, and trying to find a lifelong partner usually wouldn't happen because of, oh my god, my cat's back. No, we're not doing this right now. You ended my last run early yesterday. Freaking Chase, I got a taco with a mustache. You want it? Yeah, go get it. Freaking weirdo. They contextualize it. The dad is like, listen, son, a bit of a spoiler. I'm also gay. And I am never going to be able to have the love that you and my work friend had. Because I did not commit to it, and even when I was younger, it was way worse. And at some point in your life, you're going to get real old, and you're going to be ugly like I am, because old people are ugly, and no one will ever love you again. And it's very sad the way he phrases it in the movie. And you kind of realize that, like, this work friend's a terrible guy for, you know, hitting on and trying to romance a... Dude, she's back. You need to get off my computer. I'm actually so sick of you being up here. I'm gonna lose my mind. She's biting my ankle. She's biting my ankle. I can't do this with her anymore. I would put her in the kennel for an hour. Every single time I try and record Isaac. Can you not bite my ankle? Do I get a break? Can I please just... I don't know, like, not have my cat just completely... Wait, this is actually a killer combo. Hold on. Boom. Boom. And now we get Horror Babylon active every single floor. And a damage bonus from Blood Oath. That's kind of huge. I can put aside my grief for my cat and focus on that. I cannot... Actually, I should still bomb in here, though. I need red hearts to bomb? I may have made a grave error. But I can go into here. And not get any red hearts. There we go. The bombs do give you red hearts. I have now learned. That was very smart. And we can do this. Get up to full health. But my cat's sleeping now. I don't know how she passed out that fast. And then bomb this open. And get a crawl space. See, now we're thinking with our brains, it feels like. We'll just go into here. I'm not going to worry about data miner of all items. Thank you. Speaking of miners, though, back to the movie. The work friend is obviously in the wrong for romancing a 17-year-old at his age, but he also was not permitted to have the love he needed in life because of him being gay in the 60s and 80s, depending on his age. So it almost kind of feels like, damn, he's a pretty awful person, but at the same time, can't imagine, not being able to ever be with the demographic that you love and having to, just for a cover-up, marry the opposite sex. Like, that's pretty horrendously awful. And I think you can acknowledge I don't know where that came from, within the state of this movie, that is both an awful thing to have happen, but not an excuse for what he did. But that's kind of where the whole dilemma of the movie lies, is the age difference, and then also the sexuality of both the characters. And I think it's played off really well, because by the end of the movie, you do have to ask yourself, like, man, would you hold this person accountable for what he did? It was a terrible thing, but at the same time, like, he definitely has had a rough life. It also doesn't help the movie, by the way, that the main character is played by Armie Hammer, who is a cannibal and a abuser in real life. So that was kind of, it's easier to hate him now because of who the actor is. But in the context of the character, I mean, it's depressing. I mean, the movie is this very cheerful looking, colorful, beautiful world they're in, and it's contrasted by this very, well, it's first just compared to this very lovely story of this nice romance, and then by the end it becomes this dreary atmosphere of like, I mean, it literally becomes winter when the news is broken that the work friend is getting married to a lady. Like, it becomes winter, so the world becomes more dull and gray. It's a very easy, but also like good use of I guess like environmental symbolism there, right? This is huge for us. We're gonna lose Whore of Babylon, but we also have an insane damage bonus right now, regardless of that. But it's a very, it's a hard question to ask yourself, because this person has definitely been shunned and you know, just terrorized his entire life just for being who he is, and liking who he likes and loving who he loves, and he's never gonna get to really experience true love in the way that straight couples, or the norm was back then, gets to. But again, it doesn't excuse the actions of that kind of behavior. But I don't know. It's this whole thing, and they definitely know that controversy, that central question, is the main pole of the film. Is this okay? Is this permissible? Like, technically, nobody was directly harmed, yes, but the lasting impact of that, you know, is gonna last forever. Oh wait, this is like 2 parts conjoined. Oh, I should have just do. Ah, man, I love technology, but you can't have them all, right? We can just bomb this man because we have so many red hearts on the ground. I bombed way too early, and you are going to escape me. Watch this. I was going to bomb him like mid-jump, but I have too high of a damage multiplier right now. That's fine, though. We'll walk into here, and this is the most diplopia room I have ever seen in my entire life. We're taking literally everything except for buying these 2 items twice. We will be doing this. I mean, this run is already off to a great start. It's because of us and not necessarily the character quite yet, but it's still like, it's a fantastic run. Moving on, I guess, still. I don't want my cat's like by my feet. I don't want to run her over, but I think she's all tired out from bothering me, which is very, very nice. But, you know, during the movie, up until the final, like, 10 minutes of it, right? I was enjoying it, but it felt drawn out. A lot of the scenes in the movie were redundant. It was the same scenes over and over, the same feelings being portrayed. It was a slow burn of things that weren't really interesting. You know, it wasn't the best way to slow burn something like that, where it just ended up being like, oh, now we have like 3 transformations already. Oh my god. It was a slow burn of stuff that is not conventionally interesting to watch, and it's nothing like new. Usually with slow burns, like, it's at least something different going on the entire time. And Call Me By Your Name, it's like, I don't know, it feels redundant. And then only I think by the end of the movie you kind of realize, like, that's just kind of the love they had, was it was just redundant the entire time because they couldn't do anything else. It was, I don't know, it felt, a lot of it just felt, again, the only word I can use is redundant, or just like it was happening over and over and over again. And that was my only gripe with the movie, I think. And because it's like such a large part of the movie is these scenes playing out in almost identical fashion back to back, I couldn't really, like, give it more than, you know, a 3 out of 5 stars, because the substance of it was not really there. Like, the metaphor of the love and the metaphor of the movie, it was very, very simple. It was very much a tell, don't show movie for a while. I mean, they have a part in the movie where the main kid, the 17-year-old, is getting read a story by his mom. And the story is about a knight who is trying to tell a princess he loves her, but he doesn't want to embarrass himself. So he asks her, is it better to speak or to die? And that's the exact thing that's happening with the character, but instead of, like, showing you, it just straight up tells you, like, look, guys, this princess and this prince are having a secret relationship. that's kind of what's happening on screen right now. And it just felt like he was a little patronizing. I was like, I don't know. There could have been a more subtle way to do that that wasn't just so like, I get it, it's the metaphor. And that happens again later on down the road with a similar thing. I'm trying to think what the exact example was, where it was very much like a, yeah, like we get it kind of deal. But like, okay, at the very end when you find out that the spoiler, the dad is also gay. Like his dad is also gay and he never got to really experience love and he's trying to help his son realize it's okay to be gay. Like you get the impression the dad is gay by the way he's talking. But then they have to explicitly say it out loud for the audience to understand. Like, we get it. Like, we don't need to halt the conversation to remind us, like, yep, I understand he is gay. That's part of this whole entire plot is him being gay. I don't know. Just there were parts that definitely felt like they could have been a bit more subtle with it, and they weren't, which doesn't really take away from the movie, but it means it could have been better, and there was definitely a spot to fill with that. Just those minor gripes and kind of the redundancy of the story, it was good, and I think the speech at the end was genuinely very, very moving. I mean, it was one of those things you watch and you go like, I've never really thought about it in that fashion before, because it feels weird to say, but we are weirdly lucky to grow up in this time where it's at least somewhat acceptable to be queer or gay. But like back then it was just like unheard of. You couldn't. I mean, it's obvious that it was bad back then, but you don't really get every angle because we're growing up in this time period. You don't get the angle of like legitimately having to cover up your sexuality your entire life. At some point when you leave your parents' house, if they're homophobic or whatever it may be, or you leave your hometown, or you drive away to like a different country, who knows, right? You could be hundreds of miles away. When you're an adult, you get the chance to choose for yourself, free of that kind of influence from the people that might not like it. You can do that nowadays. You can drive away. You can find a different place where it's accepted, and you can find people who are like you without the risk of being just like utterly decimated by a bunch of you know, I don't want to say right-wing individuals, but it's primarily what it is most of the time. You can do that. You know, it's much more common. But back then, like if you were gay, even if you left your hometown, or you left the whatever environment that was, you still really couldn't out yourself, because no matter where you went, there were people who weren't going to agree. Oh, hey, Plum, agree with that. You don't really get the what's the word you would use? Like you don't get the minor aspects of what it was like back then. And it does a great job of showing you that, I think, this movie. And I will give it tons of points for that. But maybe it just wasn't my kind of movie, the regular romance stuff. I am a romance guy. I like romance. Two of my favorite movies of all time, A Marriage Story and Eternal Sunshine, are romance movies. So I know I enjoy romances quite a bit. Lost in Translation as well, Bill Murray and Johansson. I love romance movies. I think this one was just a bit not my kind of romance movie, in the nicest way possible. I think it's a very well-made movie. It shows a lot of technical skill, and this writer can definitely write a romance story for sure. Oh, we are full on HP, huh? But I think just it was a little bit slow for my taste in parts where it should have been faster. So I gave it, on my letterbox, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I think that's a fair score for that movie. But if the entire thing was more like the final speech and a bit more open to interpretation, I guess, instead of just telling you every individual thing that's going on in the story, it would have been a lot higher. But I still enjoyed it, and I will check out more of this guy's work, because I liked looking at the movie. You know, that's a big part is the visual art. I liked looking at the screen. I liked the colors were great, and the world they put together was, you know, just as pretty. The lake scenes were very gorgeous, even just like where they live, the vineyard. I mean, it was these nice like pastels that were everywhere, and it was just, I guess, it's beautiful. Very, very good looking movie with a lot of technical skill behind that, for sure. I think when a movie looks bad, I am more inclined to look at my phone instead of the movie. I want to skip my other item room. We are doing so fine right now. We don't got to go to the other item room yet. I think we can just go, we can prioritize speed, maybe even going to boss rush over that. I should walk around, go find the Fool card and the item room, so I can maybe get a couple of items for just easy buys This is, I guess, a little bit faster because we have a closet room, and this room has no combat in it. Look at that. But I like romances a lot. It probably is, like, secretly my favorite genre of movie because almost every movie nowadays has, like, a romance subplot, right? Like, either the character has, like, a dead spouse or something of that nature, or, like, they're trying to get with the girl by the end of the movie. Everything kind of has a... This is interesting. I have a reroll right now. I'll roll this. It's still solved. I have a solved Rubik's Cube. I gotta get a charge off and then find the Fool card. Let me get a reroll for Boss Rush then. Would you look at that? I think this, so the item, what I understand, like, it has a chance to become scrambled, and you gotta hit the item again to make it into a solved cube, and the solved cube rerolls stuff. Pretty neat idea, I would say. If you guys see a tinted skull, shout at me through your computer monitors. I'm not seeing one. I'm gonna go through the rooms that I already went through. We have only 2 minutes to do this. There it is. Nice. Take that, and we will beat the room and go teleport to our boss fight, and we are doing wonderfully. But I think romance, like, every movie has a romance subplot, so when a movie is dedicated to making that subplot good, I think it shines a lot. You could consider A Marriage Story a romance movie, I think. In the traditional sense, oh my god. It's kind of like an anti-romance movie, but I think that still qualifies. We are getting just very lucky on this run, huh? I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can beat a run like this. I know I'm sitting where my cat is, like, right there. I'm trying to wake her up. This is quite the video game run. And we also get a lot of damage from that. We get to roll our buff from Purity at the beginning of every single floor. I gotta watch my HP, though. Luckily, bombs can also heal us up, which is why I think Blood Oath was extra good to take, because we get twice the chance to heal from a room drop, for example. Not what I need. I could have gotten, like, a Bombs RQ pill there, and I could have gotten, essentially would have been a full health pill, I feel like. That's half a heart. Look at that. See? Things are going wonderful. But I think if a movie is focusing on, like, a relationship ending, it's still romance. I think Eternal Sunshine is, like, would be that same category, right? Because it's, like, about a somewhat dead relationship, but they're trying to patch it up. I think if the subject matter is romance, whether it's the couple doing well or the couple doing bad, I mean, it's still romance, right? Like, it's still about the loss or the gain of a relationship, or oh, I forgot I can't put bombs down. It always scares you when I get hit like that. It's beautiful. We can just walk in here. It's a dumb. I don't need to explode. I don't know what I was doing there. We'll just keep going. We're going insanely fast right now. But I like them a lot. I mean, Lost in Translation is a very somber romance. It ends in a very sad way. I kind of forget the ending to that movie, but I remember it being really, really good. I had a great time watching that one. A Marriage Story made me into an Adam Driver and a Scarlett Johansson fan. Because the only roles I'd seen them in previously were, wow, we have perfection still, huh? I had seen them in Star Wars and the MCU, respectively, which are two things that is not really that great to be exposed to an actor in. So when I had finally seen them in other stuff, I kind of realized, like, oh man, these are actually really talented actors and actresses. Like, they're really, really good. Well, previously, I kind of thought they're just, like, blockbuster actors, you know, trying to mimic the success of one Tom Cruise, who will never be touched on again because he's just a fantastic movie star. But when I finally saw each of them on their own, like in an actual movie that wasn't, you know, some Disney property, it really did put it in perspective for me. I was like, wow. I mean, I'm probably the biggest Adam Driver fan on the planet now. I mean, I'm getting through every single one of his movies. We have the same taste in music. I know that much because he was at a Car Seat Headrest concert a while ago. That's even better for us. We're getting, like, so many on-hit effects and also just regularly good items that make this run insane. I don't know if I want to fight Hush, though. I mean, oh, wait, we're definitely fighting Hush now. So how do we do this? And this. And, Let's make some Hush moves. We're probably going to die on Hush, but honestly, man, like, that's fine. We'll get the Blood Oath damage boost here. Good. We'll go 1, 2. Oh my god, dude. How could this run get possibly, like, any better? I mean, this could make it worse. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to blow up all these with Polaroid. Okay, it wasn't in here. We'll take you. We'll pop you. Oh, God. It's terrifying. Okay. Keeper stack. Emperor card. Amnesia pill. Very cool. We can do this. Wasn't that great for us. I will do that. Go to our second item room here. That killed me. Oh, I guess the bomb rock did. We can actually use bombs, though, now, which is nice. We can use our golden bombs. We have 2 hearts going into this fight. There's our... Give me, like, I can just leave this floor crawl space. I guess we take you. Nothing else is really going to do much for me. That's still pretty good. We got our scapegoat back, so we're kind of playing as the same character, but with bombs now, so... If we somehow win this fight... We do have 20 damage, Brimstone. That's pretty good, right? You can't go too wrong with that. Okay. I'm going to give some money to our machine while we're on this floor. And then I guess we go fight Hush. And we probably die, but it was, you know what? It was a good run. I'm having a good time with these modded characters just playing for fun. Give me a luck upgrade. You suck balls. Actual ball. Oh, you're still here. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's go fight. We have, like, 7 different ways to shoot Brimstone right now. We are shredding the blue baby face. Holy, man. Okay, get a bomb in there. Kind of mistimed that, but whatever. Get some more bombs. I gotta be able to see, though, is the issue. And I am really not... Okay, yeah, that was bad. We are not going to win this fight. Well, if you enjoyed the episode and you like my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. I just released a new video on the main channel. It should be a stream highlight from my race against Wii Super in the LEGO Star Wars randomizer mod. Go watch that if you have the time or the desire to. It was a very fun stream, and I want to do more like that in the future with other speedrunners. And I think it was a good way to get introduced to that. I maybe won't die here, actually, I'm realizing now. A lot of cool drops. And there it is.